Hi, I'm Julia. On this channel, I'm going to look at the issues facing our environment and our health. With the best of my ability, I'll summarise and share my review of the evidence with you. In this episode of a series on physical activity, I'll look at whether physical activity is good for our mental health. Specifically, is there any good evidence for links between exercise and improved cognition? Does exercise protect against depression? And does physical activity help us to sleep? I ask these questions because, from a personal perspective, when I go for a walk in the park, my head clears and I feel more alert. Activity seems to enhance my ability to reason. If I'm feeling a bit down, after walking I feel back to my usual self. Then I also find that I sleep better after having taken a walk. I generally feel better. But that's just my story. Let's look at some research to find out what science can tell us about the links between physical activity and the mind. To answer the questions, I looked at the results of systematic reviews and meta-analysis studies. First, before we go into the results, why did I choose to look at these types of published research studies? What is a systematic review and what is a meta-analysis? Well, there are lots and lots of studies that have been published about associations between exercise and mental health. Each individual one of these studies may or may not have valid results due to error from the way the study was performed or just due to chance, to random error. The value of a systematic review and a meta-analysis is that they are an organized attempt to collect, summarize, synthesize and evaluate the results of all the previous research. A systematic review can be thought of as a research study itself, a study of previous studies with the goal of answering a specific question. For example, does exercise improve cognition? The reviewers use a protocol, observe predefined quality criteria, and try to minimize bias to produce valid results. What category of study is a systematic review and meta-analysis? Well, if the data from studies included in the systematic review is combinable, the reviewers can then merge the results from the included studies in a statistical analysis, and that's called a meta-analysis. In other words, a meta-analysis is a quantitative summary of the data from several studies. Sometimes it's not possible to combine the data and evaluate the results statistically within the review. In that case, the systematic review doesn't contain statistical analysis. Instead, it is a qualitative summary, that is, a descriptive synthesis of the included research from previous studies. So, what do systematic reviews and meta-analyses tell us about exercise and cognition, exercise and depression, and exercise and sleep? Cognition is the ability for thinking, understanding, and reasoning. A systematic review and meta-analysis published in 2018 by researchers at the University of Canberra in Australia reported good evidence for participation in exercise interventions improving cognitive function among adults over 50. After searching and identifying more than 12,000 previous studies and then assessing their relevance and then quality, ultimately 39 studies were included in the systematic review and 36 in the meta-analysis. The reviewers included studies with exercise interventions of at least 4 weeks duration that were structured and fully supervised. The reviewers included any type of exercise intervention which ranged from Tai Chi to aerobic and resistance training. As well as looking at type of exercise, the reviewers paid attention to both intensity and duration of the activities. The evidence from this review indicates that for those of us over 50, an exercise program with both aerobic and muscle strengthening activities of at least moderate intensity and at least 45 minutes per session on as many days of the week as possible is beneficial to cognitive function. Interestingly, the researchers found a positive association for Tai Chi, but not for yoga. But there were fewer studies of Tai Chi and yoga than there were for aerobic and muscle strengthening activities. And this suggests perhaps more research may still be needed regarding both Tai Chi and yoga to be more certain about the effects of these types of exercise on cognition among the over 50s. So what about the question of exercise and mood? A meta-analysis published in 2018 from an international team of researchers asked if participation in physical activity reduced the risk of depression. They included 49 previous studies, and they found that, indeed, participation in physical activity decreases the chances of experiencing new onset depression among all age groups, old or young. This meta-analysis didn't examine the effect of physical activity as a treatment for depression once you are diagnosed with the condition. That's a question which was answered by a systematic review and meta-analysis that was published in 2013, which included 39 studies. That review reported that exercise is better than doing nothing to reduce the symptoms of depression, but that it may not be any better at helping relieve symptoms than either drug treatment or psychotherapy alone. What about exercise and sleep? In 2015, a meta-analysis that included 66 studies found that yes, physical activity can improve how long you sleep, help you get to sleep faster, and improve the quality of your sleep. What does all this mean for you? First and foremost, remind yourself that being physically active is definitely a good thing for your well-being and mental health. Interestingly, we've known for a long time that being inactive has detrimental effects on our health. 300 years ago, a physician called Ramazzini, who wrote about diseases caused by occupation and who's known as the father of occupational medicine, said, "Those who sit at their work and are therefore called chair workers should be advised to take exercise, at any rate on holidays. Let them make the best use they can of one day, and so to some extent counteract the harm done by many days of sedentary life." Yet, in today's world, being inactive is a problem affecting lots of people. At the current moment in the USA, only 26% of men and 19% of women are sufficiently physically active. It isn't much better around the rest of the world, as only 1 out of every 4 adults are active worldwide. Remind yourself that even making small changes to your level of activity can be helpful. You don't have to become a triathlete or even get a gym membership. Just try to move more throughout the day. Take small steps to make big changes in your well-being. It is within your control to choose to build activity into your day. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk for 10 or 15 minutes during lunchtime. Recruit a friend to join you or join a group who already take a daily walk. If you want to research further into this topic, I've included the list of references in the video description, including the references for the meta-analyses and systematic reviews. Please share the ways that you choose to be more active in the comments on this video. And remember to like this video and subscribe to Your Care Plan on YouTube. If you've already subscribed, thank you. Please share your comments and let me know if there are future topics that you would like to see on this channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.